Oh, those poor souls. Please... Be careful with old Nuna. Oh, the Branton. Ah, those Delamgan. They're not evil. It is just in their nature to push back against the expansion of civilization. Still, survival of the fittest and all that, ne? And all godlike. I've heard whispers that one of your kind was here in the living lands. It is a pleasure to meet you. In case it wasn't clear, I'm the point of contact for anyone with bounties to turn in. So return to me if you have any to claim. Aura Taugori. I hope to see you soon.
Rejuvenate and revitalize your personal essence.
Oh, you startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adiran envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the dream scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead. I was calling on the spirits of the recently dead to follow the guidance of Bareth, god of death. I am asking the spirits to forgive us for our negligence and continue on their way without anger. The dead of Fjord expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry. That's exactly it! Well done! I have always observed it, and I brought it with me when I came to Fjord. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone, they bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
The ritual heals all. The spirits get one more taste of life, and the living get to offer one last gift to the dead. You must take these offerings of food and place them at 3 grave sites where the recently dead lay. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fure, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds. I believe it will do exactly that. The spirits will find closure and rest, and the living can move on from this recent tragedy. Be careful, friends. The angry spirits lash out blindly. I cannot predict what awaits you at these graves.
Next time you want to tour graveyards, I'm staying at camp.
I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady.
Where do you go after death? Still knows. Ask it anything. Affordable, reliable, and verifiable. Honest emirs, healing crystals.
Empty again.
Seems that way.
Vidaro says the current crop looks promising, though.
How can he know that? He's not a farmer.
Be patient. He hasn't steered us wrong before.
How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? Charmed. Forgive me for staring. It's just, we don't see many of your kind anymore.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Tempers are high, but I don't see any assassins. Yet.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. We have Giata to thank for that.
As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Then there's no time to waste arguing with bureaucrats.
I like her already.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Giata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. I see you're unfamiliar with animancy. You don't appreciate just how dangerous that could be. Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. Really? Unexpected from an Adiran. But how could I refuse an offer like that? Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Giata.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giata Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Messiverno.
Whoa, you're banishing her for that?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giata is an outcast. Perhaps. But I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Mesivernal. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedroom. I've got a powerful feeling we weren't supposed to see this.
My hands.
I'm sorry you had to witness that spectacle. Jat is a spirited animancer, but she can be intolerable at times. Whatever you may think of us, I welcome you to Fior Mesiverno. Quilici wants us panicking over what he can't even prove. If there's a threat to Emerald Stair, it's that old man and his fear-mongering. Don't waste your time on him. Be my guest. Take her away from here. As far as I'm concerned, she's your responsibility.
He reminds me of a lieutenant I served under. Led us into a trap because he wouldn't admit his maps were wrong.
If there's nothing more, I have a city to run. I knew I heard someone snooping about. And you have the gall to confront me like a common criminal. This conversation is over. That is not a topic for discussion. I'll hear no more of this. You go about your business, and I'll go about mine.
Relax, Amaku. Just asking questions.
If you'll excuse me, my time is precious.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amico. Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late. Is that Quelarde? This is star metal. Very rare stuff. Where did you get this? Nay, don't tell me. I'd be tempted to go looking for some more, and that would certainly not end well. No. Unfortunately, I don't know how to work the metal into anything useful. Only enchant it. I did receive a shipment from Solace Keep recently, however. A mace crafted out of star metal, brought to me by a trader from Galawain's Tusks. I suggest you make your way there if you're looking for someone to work that beautiful metal into a proper weapon.
Galawain's Tusks? Come on, it can't be that complicated. I bet you 5 skates a Smith and Thirdborn would know what to do with this stuff. And I'll take your money eventually.
Is there anything else I can help you with, amico? Nay, not really. But not all of us in Fior are animancers, you know. Besides humble craftsmen such as myself, we have the Rangers to outfit. Under normal circumstances, I'd not sell to a traveler like yourself. But as I'm sure you've seen, these are not normal circumstances. Officially no, but I have been known to dabble with essence infusion here and there. I have one such item for sale, actually. A beautiful mace made of star metal, crafted by... Ado, welcome to my fine establishment. Amico.
Found the machine.
The Adra is healthy. It's the essence I'm concerned about.
This again. You're beginning to sound like Giata.
Have you ever stopped and listened to her? She might be onto something.
I'm sure her mother and father were onto something, and look what happened to them.
I have to do something. I can't let anyone discover this. Envoy. I'm sorry. I'm not in a place to talk right now. I'm not concerned with that. Not now. Yesterday, I made an incredible discovery. We can use half as much ADATA to achieve the same results. And then I thought, what if one day it's a third, a quarter, a speck? No. To harness these forces for so small a price is too much power. Who knows what kind of chaos we'll create? I have been reading Athelnia's treatise on Wodica. Perhaps she's right. Maybe Animancy should be reined in. How can I? All right. I'll do some more tests and see where they lead me. But I hope I'm right. I shudder to think what will happen if I'm not.
All right, explain it to me again.
Imagine a river of essence. It feeds our crops, enriches the soil, and fuels our experiments. So where is the source of the river? What have we really been tapping into all these years?
I shouldn't be sober for this kind of talk.
What do you think of Giata's theory?
Well, my experiments have been a little...
unpredictable? Like, the essence has no sense of direction.
How did you know?
We should talk, but not here.
One job. One job. But I couldn't even do that.
Pour you a drink, godlike? Well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore. Apologies for the ruckus outside. The animancers never know when to shut their mouths. I might be more amused if it didn't happen so often. But that's animancers for you. Except Giada and Quilici, that is. They are the only animancers taking the Dream Scourge seriously. Try telling that to Vidaro and the animancers. But the rest of us, we've all heard the rumors from outside. Animals gone mad, terrors stalking the wilderness day and night. Bereth's bells, of course. If Emerald Stair runs out of food, we are in dire straits anyway. We've had crops fail before, but never food rations. The governor says it's just a temporary precaution, but I am not buying it. So, we ought to drink while we can. Agreed? Welcome back, envoy.
Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here? I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. My two youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. Brasilia. Their names are Belena and Adalaro. I doubt they'll be apart. They were good rangers once. But since they've caught each other's eye, all they do is sneak off to I think they know each other very well.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
Two young Nemdutin wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a while. You know what I mean?
That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an ass.
Giada, some manners, if you please.
Why start now?
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. I can think of one. He's an entitled little worm who can't stand to be proven wrong.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... Curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone.
I wish I could take credit for Giada's stubbornness, but she learned that on her own.
Thanks, old man. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. A good question with a good answer. For now, I shouldn't bother you with the details. I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers. Likewise, they should be educational for us both. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days. Wouldn't that be a coincidence? I only bring it up because Animancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... No, sorry. I don't know what came over me. I just realized this is the end. I have... As much as I would love that, we're already out of time. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. Glad to hear it. Your education should come in handy. Monto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial envoy,
We'll get thrown
research
out of the
assistant.
pub.
Who knew?
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop.
Giada, what a loss. I owe that young woman more than I could ever repay. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. Ha! A novel idea, that. What I need is a stronger power source. Perhaps, if you can help me find an appropriate battery of essence. I could use a large single block of Ultra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
If you can convince her to hand it over, I'll be more than impressed.
Listen, Kai, I need you to stalk like a cat, not stomp around like a Balrog.
My training was a lot bigger on stomping than stalking, unfortunately.
Right, and I got cooking lessons in solace, but you don't see me making beetle mash every night for dinner. The bears out here can hear a snapfly dropping Sokka from across the stair. You don't want to get eaten, you need to walk softly.
Remind you of that next time you start playing your flute at camp.
That...
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valiant Republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giada didn't draw blood. Maybe not, but it makes for a spectacle. Living Landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people. You seem to have turned out okay. You and Giada, come to think of it. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
Sometimes that just makes it easier.
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giada's situation.
Right. Like, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this can't be an easy time for Giada, but I'm glad to have her on our side. What's on your mind? And troubling. What was it she said? The Steel Garrote will ensure the safety of Adiran interests? They aren't going to make you any friends, that's for sure. Stay sharp. A storm's brewing. And better if we can find it before it finds us. It's been years. It was always green and overgrown, but I don't remember it being quite this. Exactly. Something about Emerald Stair has always been unsettling. Everything in the Living Lands grows wild, but it's different here. Those giant roots, whatever they are, I don't remember them being quite as big or close to the settlement. Well, there's a thought to keep me up at night.
Oh, the Living Lands definitely hates us. That's why people like me even get work.
I don't like reading that much into things. Maybe that's why I'm still a bachelor.
Is that what it is? That wasn't even on my list.
Either way, when I wake up with night terrors, I'm waking you both up with me. Not a whole lot, and I've been happy keeping it that way. Playing around with essence, poking at souls, trying to move them out of and into places they shouldn't be, it makes me queasy. Though, if we're going to understand the Dream Scourge and your godlike lineage, I suppose we'll have to get comfortable with it. Still, I'm happy to leave those pursuits to other people.
Exactly. Other people. People who are a safe distance away.
True, but at what cost? There's a reason Animancy's failures are more famous than its successes. For every maniac it's cured, it's created dozens of corpses, or worse. I've just always felt more comfortable with things I can see and grasp for myself. Don't get me wrong, most Animancers are nice enough people. But even nice people get strange ideas from time to time. Should I break out the booze? He was my commander and thirdborn, but he was more than that too. A mentor, friend. Tama helped me out when I first came to the Living Lands over a decade ago. I was still figuring myself out.
This is you, having figured yourself out.
Hey, now I know I can't stomach rusk snout milk. As for what we'll find, I don't know any more than you. All I know is he said it was his most prized possession. And seeing as he was on his deathbed at the time, I wasn't of a mind to ask. Hey, we all go back to the wheel, right? Nah, same reason I've got dirty dishes and unmended trousers back home, I guess.
You're the only one I know who can sew for an hour and wind up with a bigger hole than you started with.
Next time you get assassinated, Marius will be the one stitching you up. You know how sometimes you leave a thing unfinished for too long and it just grows bigger and bigger in your mind? I just need to see what he left me. Whether it's one of his old books or one of those fossils he was always collecting. Right. Exactly. Enough from me. We've got a long road ahead. Holler if you need anything else.
The Adra stirs, a crackle of light in a withered field. The bars stifle us. We cannot recall when last we spoke. Hollow faces in a line. What has come of this place? A pack without a leader, a crown upon a shaking cub. We feel them. They bend and hone the essence of the earth. They draw from our veins like a well. What are these rituals? Eons have passed. We do not recognize these strange machines. A harvest grows. The dead rise. What do they hope to achieve? Set what has been broken. Soothe the pain. They build walls in their hearts. Why do they not share what they make? Adir sleeps across the sea. They are not troubled by the laws of Kith. What do you say? A bitter tincture heals. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. We have learned much. Dream of soaring wings in your repose.
My farmhands are very affectionate. Feel free to pet them if you like. Giada Castel wants my professional opinion. What an honor! I have a few theories, but no firm conclusions. I have to ask, is it true? Did Vidaro kick her out of town? He's a bigger fool than I thought. Very well. I'll tell you what I know about the Dream Scourge. But first, I need some help around the farm. I'm up to my ears in chores around here, and the Revenants can only do so much. They can't do complicated tasks, you see. Anyway, I'm afraid the time has come to put down poor Silvo. You did? That was quick. Poor Silvo. He was a bright young revenant, but a very old man. Thank you for giving him peace. So, the Dream Scourge. I've been keeping an eye on the readings from my fields. This plague, as we know it, is a recent development. But I believe whatever causes it is older by far. Maybe even as old as the living lands. The exotic plants and animals, the twisted landscape, the Dream Scourge. There's something about the essence in the living lands that's different from anywhere else I've seen. It's possible, but we don't share research if we can avoid it. And that's one of the reasons I moved out here. The other reason being my corpses. They don't enjoy living behind walls, if you can call it living. Not to get too superstitious, but in these troubled times, the arrival of a godlike is no coincidence. You are meant to be here. Toward what end, only you can say. Well, I'm happy to give her some good news for a change. You and Giat are going to shake things up. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on my flock.
Oh, and thank you for the nightmare meeting. I really have been sleeping entirely too well lately.
I'm remembering why people find this place unsettling.